This Afrofuturism, its reach is kind of culturally vast. I mean, you're bringing together, what have we got? Afro-American sci-fi, science, technology, culture, Egyptology, and mysticism. That's all part of the Afrofuturist world. And they're not viewed as separate elements, they're all part of a whole. How did you bring all this together in the Universal Zulu Nation and Soul Sonic Force? How did you pull all that together?
Well, definitely researching, searching, like we saying, looking for the perfect beat, checking out all the different ideologies of different humans on the planet, and especially when you get honorable to be blessed to travel and sit among people, going to different religions, going to different temples, mosques, churches, going to places where you see things that might be a mystery, checking out each other's history, getting an understanding of the mentality of human beings.
Global knowledge.
Global knowledge.
I always remember.
Not just global knowledge, universal knowledge.
That was one of the big things that you pushed with the Universal Zulu Nation, if I remember
sir.
rightly. You said that that was like the most important thing, knowledge. Is that right?
Fifth element, knowledge.
Okay. I think what attracted me mostly to this whole subject matter was space is this place that's contrary to the media's perception of it. It's not owned by anybody. I mean, you can see why people like Sun Ra look to the cosmos, because it's free of racism. It's free of social limitations.
Well, not according to the movie Avatar.
Okay, yeah, well, okay. True. It's made me lost my point.
Yes.
Okay. I'm trying to remember what the story was about, because I can't remember what the hell it was about. Okay, that's throwing me off. Okay. Still, the Afrofuturist world seems, what's most attractive is it's a place that you can reinvent yourself. You can kind of not be trapped by cultural baggage. And that's not to say you deny where you're from, but it can guide you but not define you. Is that fairly true? What is the attraction of the Afrofuturist world to the individual? What can it do for the individual?
Well, like I said, it's definitely lets you see where you want to be at in the future. Because if you're talking about something futurism, that you want to know where you want to be in the future, where you want to take this. You start planning where you at now, wherever you at on this planet, and then you try to organize your thoughts to make something come into being. So this is where you want to take your Afrofuturism, like I said, whether you want to deal with economy, whether you want to deal with health, wealth, whether you want to deal with so-called religious or non-religious, or you just want to deal with the whole universe and spectrum.
So, I mean, while you're looking to the future, it's kind of a guide to how you can deal with the now. Is that what you're saying?
You definitely
it can
got
guide
to,
you
you
in
got
your
to
day-to-day
deal
reality?
with the now, most definitely. You got to deal with the now so you can know where you're going to be planning for the future, for many future generations.
It's interesting, this future thing. The early cinema kind of portrayed black people as a poor relation to civilization. And I think Afrofuturism kind of obviously dismisses all that myth and all that rubbish.
Well, I think everybody should be wondering what is going on out there as being human beings, because it's real deep when you start looking at planets. I mean, it's so deep, you know, I even seen something that I didn't know what it was that came close to the Earth. Some people say it was Mars, but some people say it's Nibiru. But it's definitely some strange stuff that's going on in our time now. So we got to wonder what is going on with our universe, because it seems like the Earth is going through a different paradigm. And she's about to make moves on the planet because so many human beings has disrespect the planet.
Let's jump into music, because that's probably going to finish up this whole thing. Afrofuturism, Sun Ra. Talk to me about him. Why is he important?
Well, somehow I was important into jazz and his sounds that he was doing, because he was definitely out of the box, out of the circle,
Out of the planet.
and he definitely was out of the planet, and he definitely was funkadelic with them clothes he was wearing. I like all that funky stuff.
I guess most of you are familiar with Sun Ra in here, right? I mean, I think you'd be hard pushed to find any artist from that time or right up to this date that brings together all these elements we've been speaking about and more. And it's interesting to me that he's picked up this ball and he's running with it. And then Sly's running with it, Earth, Wind and Fire, George is running with it, you're running with it. I don't see the continuity of that. I'm kind of disappointed that there's no one out there that I can say, yeah, they're in that lineage. Why is that?
Maybe something didn't reach them and spark them yet. Maybe they got touched by that certain light, that certain voice that tell them to, be other than yourself. So most people like staying in a box or staying in a circle.
It's safe, right?
It's safe for them. So, you got what they would call the odd ones that would step out of that box or circle.
Yeah, look beyond the horizon. Yeah, no, like I said, it's disappointing that there's not, you'd think that this thing would be all over the place. I mean, in the UK, and this might be my own ignorance, but I don't see a lot of people in the UK that have picked up, there's a few names out there I've come across, Throwing Shades, Ebony Bones, but I don't really see it kind of, it's sparking the mind revolution that it should be, and it's there to access. I don't quite get what's going on. How do you think we can kind of get more young people involved in what is, probably the savior of urban black culture from my perspective? How do we do that?
Well, definitely we got to keep speaking about it, teaching about it, and showing all type of different things, whether it be like what you said, talking about the different artists, the different writers, the different people who are making certain styles of video, using the YouTube, the internet, speaking about the people who wrote many screenplays that became movies. So it's like each one teach one.